This right here is for he who calls himself Lazy Swayze. Hit Parade 2020 Pop Vinyl SIG Edition Series 6 Uno out of 50. That's Brian Herring, who is the puppeteer for Porgs and also BB 8. That is a Target exclusive Wings Open Porg. Animatronics Master. And then 15 out of 50. It's Craig Robinson. Oh, this is so great. As Daryl Philbin from The Office. Craig Robinson. That's awesome. That is really awesome. Super cool. I wouldn't mind a Doug Judy autographed one, if they even make a Doug Judy pop. One of my favorite villains slash good guys slash villains on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. "2020 Goodwin Champs." So who are we looking for? LeBron or Dominguez or Tiger? Jordan? Any of them. Okay. Not picky. I like that. Just didn't want to open. That's the ugliest pack opening I think I've ever been a part of. But the cards aren't damaged, so I succeeded. I don't think it's bugs, this one. This one I think is cats. Cats and fish. Unless you're talking about real bugs, in which case this year it's leaves. They have different leaves. They have different leaves that you send away for. I know because I've already hit a leaf. Gretzky. Mini. Pulled a sick Dominguez shoe auto redemption. Be very excited if that gets redeemed to see what it looks like. The King. So there's 3 hits in every box. One of them is typically a lenticular. And then the other 2 are up in the air. Shots in the dark. Doesn't seem to be a real MO. Wow, the big one was followed by the mini. All right, all the hits are in the left stack. There you go. Genuine hero, Colonel Nicole Malachowski. United States Air Force pilot retired, Nicole Malachowski. With her commitment to serving her country and desire to make the world a better place, Colonel Nicole Malachowski is a real-life superhero. The former United States Air Force pilot, Malachowski worked hard and shined as the first female aviator to fly the skies as a member of the famous Thunderbirds. She has since worked diligently in both the private and public sectors. There you go. Honest to goodness, genuine hero auto. So like I was saying, it's a grab bag. You never know what kind of hits you're going to get. You can get cool stuff like that. Pieces of NASA flight suits. There's a lot of different things. It really is like a box of chocolates. Brain, I'm good, man. It's not super late. It's not even 1 o'clock yet. Wayne Gretzky, that's a 1 per box Lumberjack mini. Alright, I think that's odds to say there should be a hit in here. Looks like it's going to be the last 2. So both of these packs should hold a hit for you. This one definitely does. It's Fabiano Corana, excuse me. Chess champion. There he is again. All right, and the last one. Oh, this is going to be a cool hit. What do we got here? We have the American Short-Hair Cat. I believe these are case hits. I believe these are case hits. Uh-oh, somebody's allergic. So, fun fact, I don't remember where I read this, but I found it to actually be true. 30, an estimated 30% of people who claim to be allergic to cats are actually scared of cats, and they use the allergy to keep away from them. Case in point, Anne Frank, I can't remember if it was her uncle, whom always claimed to be allergic to cats, was not actually allergic. He was afraid of them. Crazy fun fact. Chupacabra? I think so. They did have they had a Monsters edition one year. No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just simply stating. They said it's an estimated about 30% actually believe that it's fear and not a dander allergy. I just thought it was a cool little thing to read. Was it good? Didn't know that. They gave examples. Here's what I'll tell you. I don't process. This is weird, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. I can't eat onions. Like, I can eat them. I won't die. But my body doesn't break down the proteins. So one of the proteins, or acids, amino acids, one of the two. So even if I... Ooh, wait, hold on. Big hit coming. Private Frost's 2nd Battalion Bravo team ID badge. There you go. So if I eat, like, if it's overly cooked, like if you cook the heck out of it, it's less. The more heat, the more the proteins break down. But like a raw onion or anything that has like raw onions in it, if I accidentally bite into one and swallow it, I will emanate an onion odor from every pore in my body for like an hour. It's disgusting. But I can't explain that to every single waitress. So I just say I'm allergic to onions. 80% of what you eat, if it's baked or cooked, has an onion byproduct in it. So obviously I'm not allergic to it. But it's just easier to say I'm allergic. I don't have to explain anything then. Garlic, I don't have that issue. Asparagus. So this is the example I use. People who eat asparagus, there is a percentage of the population who, when they go to the bathroom, let's get clinical, your urine will smell bad. That's actually because you're not processing some of the proteins or amino acids in asparagus. I basically have that, but for... Ooh, this is an alien skin. It's basically a canvas card with green foil on it. But it's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, it's like all of it. All of it is true. Yeah. So it just has to do with the breaking down of The ability to break down those proteins or amino acids. Um, there's another thing. So we did this test in high school, which there's another alien skin, which, as you know, my high school was 25 years ago almost. Where they had this, he had the science teacher had this paper, and he says, I'm going to do a genetics test. Out of this class of 40, 2 of you will not be able to taste this paper. This is a 99? Yep, out of 99. So apparently this paper was soaked in some solution. And when people would put it in, like, put it on their tongue, it would taste like aspirin. And it was, people were like, oh, it's disgusting. I couldn't taste anything. This is a short print. Out of 25. It wasn't litmus paper. Like, it wasn't the actual litmus paper, but it was on, like, a thicker piece of paper that was similar to that. But it was funny because I was one of those 2 people. And it was right. There were 2 of us who couldn't take... Actually, there was 3 of us. He was a little... Oh, that's amazing! A face hugger. That's a 101 sketch card by David. Could be Daniel. It might be Daniel. Or David. It's somebody. Half one. There you go. It's super bitter. Is that what it is? Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't taste it. So I was trying to ask you, like, what does it taste like? They're like, you can't taste it? I'm like, I don't taste that. They're like, oh, you're lucky. It's awful. I was like, oh, okay. Great. Cool, man. 101. That is an actual piece of art drawn right on the card. That is not a facsimile. That dope piece right there is all yours. It's real. No, this is an actual... This card was blank, and he drew this. This is a literal piece of art. 1 of 1. Yeah, the sketch is really dope. It's got that, like, comic book look to it, which I dig. Yeah, that's a one-of-a-kind hand-drawn sketch card. Signed by the artist. Kool and the Gang. I mean, Kool and the Gang wasn't the artist. I just think it's Kool and the Gang. You guys did drops? Yeah, he gave us paper. Little strips of paper. Of, like, construction litmus type paper. But yeah, I was always fascinated by that. But yeah, genetically speaking, they're like, the odds are X amount of you won't taste this. And then he did one. It was funny. It wasn't my class, but it was my same year, where they were doing it was something had to do with chromosomes, and he was basically saying your parents will have this and this, and you'll have this, and the eyes and something about hair. And this kid's like, none of this math is working. This doesn't match either of my parents. And like 3 days later, the kid comes into school and goes, yeah, just found out I was adopted. I was like, oh, all right. Huh. Well, that's one way to find out. You find out in science class. Super tasters versus non-super tasters. Yeah, I dig it. Sounds right. Sounds familiar. Yeah, BMD. Yeah. Yep. That would have been a heck of a lot cooler. No, I loved science. Science was one of the only things I was good at. I did volunteer, like extra credit, extra dissections, extra reports. Love science. That is Colette Hiller as Corporal Pharaoh. Yeah, right? Yeah. He's like, yeah, so he wasn't in my class, but I knew of him. It's not like he was a friend, but you know, when you go to high school, you know most of the people that are in your class. Out of 99. Um and he's like, "Yeah, I'm adopted." He goes, That's the bomb that was dropped on me when I came to my parents. I was like, "Hey, Ma, hey, Dad, how come this is this?" Like, well, son, you're adopted. I mean, he really didn't mention it much after that. I assumed he was okay with it. I went to a high school where 80% of the kids were from well to do families, which was great because my family was not well to do. So I was very good at fighting. That is how I spent my high school days because my parents didn't have the bank account to match the other parents. So I got to learn how to fight instead. Yeah, right, brain? But, yeah, I don't think he ever mentioned it again after that, other than as an aside. Ah, well, that's another way. It's true. It's happening. That is basically what it was. Uh, I was I was the kid that got picked on, and then and I was tiny when I was in high school. I was not a big kid. Um, I was the one that finally just got fed up and fought back one day. And after a few fights, nobody wanted to fight me anymore. I didn't win all of them, but when I lost, people were like, "Dude, you're nuts! Like, you just got your rear end handed to you, and you're gonna antagonize the guy again." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna keep going until they back down." So eventually, it was like, "Oh, that's the crazy kid. We don't want to fight the crazy kid. You can like break his nose and knock out his tooth, and he's gonna laugh at you." More alien skin. That's it, man. Started taking self defense and martial arts, and that was a wrap. Then went into the service. And ever since I've left the service, I don't have any problems anymore. But yeah, high school was tough, man. Kids can be brutal. Out of 99. But it is what it is. Not gonna change. Nah, to be in the UFC, man, you had to win. I lost. I lost as many as I won. I mean, nobody really ever wins a fight, let's be honest. Out of 25, I thought you never missed. Nobody really wins a fight. Unless it's a one-punch knockout, you're taking damage. And even a one-punch knockout, good chance you're breaking your hand. Especially if it's bare knuckle. So, I am of the opinion, nobody wins. So actually, Bruce Lee had a really great quote, and I'll tell you after this hit. Rebecca Newt Jordan, Hadley's Hope colonist, that's the little girl, who was always getting into trouble, and people had to die to save her. Spoiler alert, like 40-year-old spoiler alert. But there's Newt. And I'm going to get this quote wrong, but the general idea of the quote will still stick. Bruce Lee said, I used to think a punch was just a punch. And then I learned a punch isn't just a punch. And after all these things and all of this training, I've come to realize again, a punch is just a punch, because in the end, you're just hitting somebody in the face. I might have one more. But I can tell you right now, I'm not going to have time, because I have 2 more breaks. And if both people are here, they will take up the last 15 minutes that I have. Nope, no diamond. All right, last pack. Ah, there you go. I knew somebody would be able to find it. I just remember I had it paraphrased. There it is.